Alright, today we're going to learn how to paint a painting I call architectural abstraction. Alright, let's run through the colors. Carbon black, titanium white, Prussian blue, quin red, pearly red, burnt sienna, primary yellow, cad yellow. Hey guys, we're gonna do a new painting. I bought this piece of wood here. This is wood, and I got canvas. I painted just. I got my old blocks that I used way back in Ohio. I haven't used them since, but now I finally got a big piece of wood. I wanted to get even a larger one, but I'm like, this space is kind of limited. I'm just realizing I gotta pull my tarp back. I thought I was prepared, but anyway, let's get started. All right, I got my portable tarp up. Hopefully that holds. I don't get paint everywhere. I don't know how that's gonna work out really, but I'm just trying to. If you don't know, this style is called architectural abstraction that I'm going to start. It's all geometric, but I splash paint, so I needed a really large kind of portable tarp. And let me just show you guys real quick. So if you look up, it has these, it's really simple. It's just the wire. Let's scroll up there. It's got wire and binder clips. It's kind of redneck style, but it works really well, and I can completely take it off. So obviously if I had a real studio, I wouldn't do that. I would do something more elegant, but since I'm in a tiny one bedroom apartment, I have my office in here, my kitchen in here, my studio in here, all in one room, right? So it's a little crazy. And I also have my office from my work in here, so I have like 3 computer monitors. It's just insanity. Anyway, let's get started. Just checking because that wasn't measured exactly, but I kind of had to guess from that angle if that was the right or not. Normally I use pencil, but I'm using Sharpie this time. I don't know why. So I better put it on thick just to cover this up. It's gonna be a lot of Sharpie otherwise. This isn't a good thing, I don't think. That'll be your basis. So if you're not using, if you have paper, you want to use blue tape, but if you're using just canvas and you can just paint on paint and paint and paint, use this, it's way stronger. I think some people even use electrical tape, which is even really sticky, and you get a really clean line then, so I probably should use electrical tape to get the better line. But it was weird, I laid it down and it went like, and I'm like, well, I just draw them with a metal ruler, it has to be straight, so I gotta follow that line. All right, let's get started. See, I already screwed it up. It's been a while, guys. I already got a mistake I gotta fix. So ridiculous. I also like this translucent feel to it. A lot of galleries probably say, oh, it doesn't have enough paint, but if you layer it enough, it looks really cool. So it's just a matter if you layer enough and you don't stop kind of in your layering process and just go all the way through with it. Let me do the edge real quick, because that's just going to be dumb if that's not coated all the way. It's fine to be a little white here, but it just looks dumb if the edges aren't completely coated. So again, you get that kind of translucent feel, which probably looks wrong for some painters, but I like that look. It's amazing it's on wood, but it's still moving a lot. You figure wood would be the hardest substance possible to make this not move, but it's better to do this with 2 easels, you know, to kind of balance it out better. That's what I used to do, but I can't buy these. Now they're, like I bought this for $100, now they're like $150, $200. I'm waiting for the price to kind of adjust, see if they drop, but I have a feeling they're not going to drop in price. They're just going to leave that high price on it. But It is what it is, so they say. So I like to add kind of drips up the top. Let that go. Let's do the next layer while that drips. Got a quick one over here. Again, I'm kind of doing the edges first, and we'll kind of play with the paint. And we'll drip that one. So we already have some issues. Alright. So it hasn't dripped all the way, I'm just leaving that drip more. It's a little dirty here, so maybe I'll clean that up. I'm trying to get as sticky as possible there. And I leave a little bit so I can pull it up. Let's see if we have enough paint, hopefully. I'm just getting those lines in really clean. It looks stupid if you got kind of gaps in the ends there. Just gonna fill this. We want as much paint as that, but I think we made enough. I'm just kind of lowering my quantity of paint because it's a smaller canvas, but you still use a buttload of paint. So this is not good. We're running really low on this color. I'm gonna have to remake some, but then that's not good because you're probably not gonna have a really good match. Should probably do this first, just to get rid of most of the white. It's terrible stuff here. Ideally you want those corners really sharp too, that just looks way cooler, I think. Definitely running really low, cutting it short on this color here. Let's do some drips off this style. Let's get the excess off. I'm going to do this one real quick, hopefully get it right. Okay, that didn't work. Normally it gives you like a nice clean layer, I don't know what the hell happened. Okay. I'm going to re-drip them. So kind of crappy, but you don't do the style in a while, you kind of forget the secret sauce, I think. Which is kind of dumb, but let's see if that does anything. A little bit. Let's do these while it's still wet. This will work properly. Yeah, see, that looks like the drips I want. This is nice and clean, except for down here. I gotta watch that stupid thing. It's gonna ruin the whole, like, what's the point of even doing this? Alright, let's do some splash. Which again, I have to have this tarp, otherwise it'd be all over the apartment. Definitely won't have the apartment long if you have this shit everywhere. Hopefully that's not too watery, because if it's watery it'll start to drip. So I'm gonna use another brush to get the white really clean. We'll let that dry, or we can fix this. Otherwise I have this stupid layers coming through, which is annoying as hell. Okay, this one's not perfect, but it is what it is. Alright, let's let that dry and see what happens after this dries. Alright, the next stage we're going to add some white lines. We're gonna add a little blue, dark blue, kind of purple, and really darken this up, and we'll cut back later. Looks like it's all fucked up. I'm gonna add some white highlights and then we'll pull together the next level. Alright, I'm gonna let that set. It's getting dark here, so we'll see if I work later, but because the lighting's gonna get bad. I can adjust it in post, obviously, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes from there. I gotta layer this more. I mean, it kind of feels done, but I want to get kind of rid of this white and tone that down a little bit. So we'll see where we go from here. we're gonna let that dry, see, hopefully it turns out good. I'm still trying to reduce the white, so I don't know where I'm gonna get that from. I really like the orange to contrast the purple. It's always a great combination. And I got the red a little bit, but not too much. I might pull back some of the red maybe. We'll see. I think it has enough red. It's definitely warm enough with the yellows and the orange, which is nicer than a pure red. A pure red is a little bit too intense. So this is more of a pure red, but even that red has brown in it. It's not a pure red. So yeah, we'll see where we go from here. I'm gonna let that dry and see what it looks like. All right, we just finished the paint. Let's take a closer look. So I really like the subtlety of a lot of different areas, really nicely together, come together. It's funny because it kind of reminds me of older paintings I've done at a slightly larger scale than this. I'm always thinking sometimes they'll turn out differently, but a lot of times they don't. So it's kind of funny, you know. You have one vision when you start a painting like this, you're like, oh, I'm gonna make it all really subtle layering and all this stuff, and then I'm like, I kind of like it as it is. Big and punchy. That's just my style, I guess. I think color-wise it's really good, comes together really nicely. I did have one area on the right where I kind of ran out of purple paint, so it kind of would have been nice to mix up some and fill it in kind of how I wanted to, because that area kind of feels a little bit like open because it's not dark on that side, but I think it still works, so I'm just going to leave it. And you know, on the left it's a little busy. I don't know if I need to layer that much. But yeah, I probably could have done some subtle layering. I think in one painting I did once, I did white layer right after this, and kind of it had a really cool look, but you know, I kind of like it with a really bold look too on the colors, so you know, I'm gonna live with it. I think it's really cool. And I'm really happy I got this style of medium, or this size, because it really looks better, this style, in a very long rectangular style versus a square. You can do it in square and it's fine, but I think the best version of this is in this rectangular style. I might also try to do maybe some really large landscapes in this style as well. This is a really nice kind of landscape size as well, if you want to do kind of that nice horizontal landscape. Vertical, I don't know if you can do a vertical that way. I guess you could, maybe with like an oceanscape, like on the ocean, if I want to paint that, but I haven't really painted that before. But we'll see what we go from here. Thanks for watching, guys.